Don't you?
Hello, Star Wars fans! Hey, do you know there's just 145 days until Christmas 2022? I've had a busy morning already, and I want to thank you all for being here. And of course, Meg, is it tomorrow? I know, give me a hard time about that intro. You know something about that song, though? I love it so much. I listen to it like all the time. Like yesterday afternoon, I was having a slow afternoon, and I just put it on and listened to it. I absolutely love that song, and huge kudos to Mike Porter for bringing my attention to it, telling me about it, and introducing me to that song. I absolutely love it. And how much is it for that song? It's still unknown. So the reason I have the little transition right after the song into the intro is because they copyright that every day, and then I just trim that part out, and so I still have an intro. But I've already submitted my request to Sony Music to get those rights. So and you know, we have a couple of folks here. Our friend Novak has gone through a rough week. He's had a tragedy in his family. Novak, our prayers are with you if you're catching this live or on the replay. And Jedi Mike, I see you too. I know that often we deal with heavy issues in our personal lives, for our work, for things that are going on. I know our good friend Sheev is moving. He's got things going on. Every day brings new challenges for different folks, and so we are here to talk about Star Wars. I've got my friend Jason here. We're gonna kind of cut it up and talk about some of the Star Wars news.
Why do you have to pay like royalties on the song if Meg is singing it? Like, why doesn't Meg just let you? Why doesn't Meg just let you use it? Like, why is she so stuck up?
Well, it's Megan Trainor, not Meg, Star Wars Meg.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, you know,
I mean, Star Wars Meg.
her alter ego, Megan Trainor. You know, it's like, get over yourself. Yeah, 100,000 subs, cool. But I mean, you know, I knew you when you had 75,000 subs. You're the same.
Look, Meg says, I wish I sounded that good. No, Meg, you sound better. Just
Like,
you're way.
I believe in Santa. I do. No. Yeah.
It would have a little British accent to it. I think I need that song unplugged, just on your guitar, Meg.
Yeah.
You know, do a Star Wars Meg cover.
It's so because she's an English person.
How good would that be?
Right?
Now I need it. I need it in my life. That would be great. That would be great. So, hey, thank you all for being here. Jason, thank you for your time today. We have a few stories. The first one is one that's some grifters are starting to get a hold of, and other people.
What? No, not in 2022, dude.
We get an
you sound
awesome.
crazy right now.
We get an awesome Andor trailer, and of course, the thing we've got to talk about is the 3-week delay on the release date. So they did change it from August 31st to September 21st with no explanation, which opens
hiding. Sorry,
exactly.
I see behind the lies. I see behind the lies.
100%. 100%. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Because these people, because there is no explanation, or nothing was given to us, they get to make up whatever they want, and we get to endure it. So there is a 3-week delay. I am aware that there are some reasons behind it, and I've got a guest coming on this Thursday's show, our new Guardians of the Wills show that we do on Thursday. It's a secret guest. I can't tell you guys yet. but we will announce it because there are fans and there are detractors of this individual. I'm excited to have them coming on, and I saw them on Twitter saying there is a reason, and I know it.
Is it Alex Jones?
No.
Okay. I saw that happen on the internet one time.
No. So we'll find out. We'll see. It's not Mike Zero either, or maybe it is.
Man, I was having.
I don't know.
I was having this like the other day when everybody came on my show. I was like, that was really fun, and I was like, man, it would be rad if I had like a coast to coast style spoiler show. And I could have like Aston Bolton on, and he'd be like, "Hey, everybody, like, here's what happens." And I'd be like, "I don't know, that sounds crazy." But next up, we got Mike Zero. Mike would come on, I'd be like, "Wow, that's really interesting, Mike. Oh boy, we'll have to see how that pans out, Mike." So,
Jason,
dream of mine.
Jason, I think you need to work on that.
Yeah, I want to be like George Norrie of Star Wars.
You could totally pull off a coast to coast making Star Wars show that airs at midnight. You know, it's overnight.
Yeah, and next up we got Star Wars Santa on. Is he the real Santa?
From the secret bunker, right? It's got to be from your top secret bunker. And because the Disney and Lucasfilm execs are searching for us. They've got their snipers out there.
Right.
They're listening in, and they're trying to find us.
Star Wars deep state. Yeah, exactly.
They need to. Right. They're trying to interrupt the stream. If you lose contact to the stream, then you'll know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everything we said.
It's not my Mac from 2019. It's not that at all.
Exactly. Oh, that would be so much fun. I would love to. How much fun would it be to actually do an interview with Mike Zero? That would be. I would love that. That would be so much fun. But in any event,
do it. Ask him.
I will. I'm in a mood today and feeling silly enough to do it.
You're a feisty Santa today. I'm a little afraid. I'm like, I'm not gonna mess with them, Meg. I'm not messing with them. It's all up to you today.
I think I will. I think I'm just gonna, take a chance. I'll reach out to him and say, hey, dude, how fun would it be to talk to Star Wars Santa and just do an interview? Come on. Quentin would interview him. Look, if Quentin's got a fantastic interviewing skills. Quentin is the man. So we could have Moses. I just read Moses Gardner. We could get Quentin come in, do the interview with Mike Zero. That would be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
What was going through your head when you thought maybe Jeff Bridges was playing Luke Skywalker and not Mark Hamill? How did you come to this conclusion? Well, let me tell you, Quentin.
Yeah. Hey, LB, thanks for stopping in, my friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support here as well.
It was
the more I think of
the dartboard, and then I came up with it.
Look, it would be so much fun, Mike Zero. If anybody gets hold of you, it would be fun. We'd have fun. We'd laugh. We'd cut it up. It'd be a ton of fun. Nobody would hurl darts at you or anything. It'd be fun.
I just remember like the funniest Mike Zero story. He was like stealing my videos and just like taking like the whole like things I made and like uploading it. And I was like flagged. And then he pretended to be ladies. He started pretending to be. I'm Mike Zero's associate editor and all of this stuff. Like, you don't have. What are you talking about, Mike Zero? Can you please unflag that and we will remove it. And I'm just like, Mike Zero, you're crazy.
Exactly. It'd be a friendly interview. It would be friendly. It'd be fun. LB said, I didn't know Andor was delayed. So this is the topic we want to kind of break off here first. Is we got the trailer yesterday, and the surprise in there is that during the trailer it says coming September 21st, 3 episodes. Oh boy, that's super exciting. Unless you knew that it was supposed to be August 31st with 2 episodes. So now people get to make up stories about why it got delayed 3 weeks. Is it because they're afraid of She-Hulk? Is the Disney overlord saying, well, She-Hulk's afraid of you? right? Nobody's going to watch She-Hulk if Andor's on there.
Yeah, are you saying She-Hulk? She-Hulk.
Hulk, the green,
She-Hulk. I thought
the
it was
green
like
lawyer
She-Hulk.
lady.
I am
Yeah.
She-Hulk. Rah, rah. I mean, you know, it's probably Game of Thrones, right? It's just not wanting to get into that Game of Thrones mess.
Game of Thrones and the Lord of the Rings. Both of those are in the same
Yeah.
time frame. It's Joe Monger, She-Hulk. That's Falcon's girlfriend. We've got some great people in the chat. You guys, I love you so much. Thank you for being here. So yeah, is it because I think Lonely LB? You know, LB does. He's got a passion around some of the political shenanigans. He likes to talk a lot about just buffoonery. My favorite Lonely Banner term is buffoonery.
Buffoonery.
He should trademark it because it's so good.
That's my middle name. Buffoonery Ward.
So that I love this comment because he's saying it got delayed because of the green agenda. Right there, you go. Now you can put the green laser eyes on there and talk about how no. Yeah, Rings of Power. That's the Lord of the Rings show, and it is getting some press. There are people, especially those who are big Tolkien proponents, right? They're deep into the Tolkien lore and the Lord of the Rings lore that has been around for ages. And look, Tolkien is one of the best writers, period, right? Like he created some of the best content that is really the world building that he did is unmatched, unparalleled. And so the people who have been
Have you seen Return of the Jedi? Come on.
Well, it has picked up some press because or some traction because some of the casting doesn't match the racial profiles of the day.
Race war.
Yep, you got it. That's it. That's what's at the heart of it, right? So people are talking about how
when I read it, Gimli was Chinese. So what are you gonna do about it?
Well, that's that. You know, they're like, well, Tolkien was writing about, World War I, World War II, Great Britain. It was mainly
things
white.
Really relevant to our times. Yes.
Yeah, it was a white society he was writing about, and that means that all the characters have to be white, unless you come up with a good reason to bring in a different race of beings from somewhere else. And if you just put in a racial swapped person instead of a white person, then you're messing up with our Lord of the Rings. So
yeah.
Anyway, I got
about though, like I mean, just telling on yourself with that one, because it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. Was World War I a race war?
Well,
no, I'm
no.
And it's like, so who gives a shit? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Like Thor, you watch Thor. Oh man, Thor. What is this? What have they done to my mythology? Like, come on, like that's just ridiculous. But yeah, and a lot of things I've been seeing on like Twitter and stuff is like, they would come out on different days. Like, who cares? But the thing about it is that the big outlets and the big writers from those outlets who each would hope to get isn't going to write one on Lord of the Rings and one on Andor that week. It's really not possible. They're not going to do it. One's going to go to a lesser writer that's going to get a lesser push. And so it would become, so, especially if there's, and if there was three of them, if there ended up being Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, and Star Wars all in the same time. So I'm going to guess that has something to do with it.
I think there's been some speculation. It may be some post-production, like tightening up some of the CG.
Does that track though?
It doesn't. Not for me, but I mean, I guess it could.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Especially when they use volume.
We talked a little bit about the documentary that was released, right? Light and Magic. Mm-hmm. And that in one of those screenings, they were literally cutting film in the back room while the show was playing, right? And they got to the end and they weren't quite ready, so they had to pause it while they finished cutting film to splice it into the end of the movie. So if you haven't seen Light and Magic, that's one of the things that you can get from that show. So yeah, maybe.
But okay. But here's the thing: screeners went out. We know people who have the screeners.
Yep.
It answers itself. Yeah. I'm just saying. So that whole theory, unless they gave them screeners with unfinished visual effects, what's it called? Stranger Things was literally replacing shots the night that it premiered on Netflix. Like if you watched it the very first night if you watch straight through, you may have seen unfinished effects compared to what it is now. But that's something that if they can do, they would just do that if that was the case. But like I said, the people who have the screeners aren't saying that it's like that. So
like seeing the dude standing in the hallway in Mando season 2.
Oh,
and then
right,
they said, "Oops."
that I think was just actually like the wrong shot being in the edit that was released as opposed to getting
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't have the real reason. On Thursday, I have a guest who claims to know on Thursday. Okay. So that's how you do teasers.
Yeah.
And I'll tell Jason and Meg off stream, but you guys have to keep it, buttoned up. But
Kathleen Kennedy got her period. Said no Star Wars for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Hey, Bespin's here. Bespin, good to see you, my friend. I'm going to make up for all the times that I short his stories. I just glaze over them. I'm going to really pay attention today. I promise. I promise, Bespin.
He's been a bad boy.
No, I've been irresponsible in my Bespin Bulletin coverage, so I want to make up for it. I need to redeem myself with Bespin.
Redeem yourself.
I know. My subs have been going down because I've been just ignoring Bespin, right?
That's why.
I know. If I would just, get my act together.
Started by Bespin Bulletin to take down.
Oh no!
In a lobby.
We have an enhanced Meg. That's not how I should have said that. Meg is here with her animated GIF.
What are you doing, Meg?
Exactly what you were doing to a BB-8's cardboard cutout when I met you, Jason. Actually, no.
Yes. The BB-8 incident.
I have to say, for like months, I have been looking at Meg's sunburned side boobs. I can't lie.
I know you kept liking my pictures at 3 a.m.
I don't know how. I don't know how you kept. Is it sunscreen? I mean, your face is pale. But
some people say it looks like I'm running or riding a camel. I am riding something. Whereas Boba said, I'm riding something 10 times that size. Your mum.
Right. You got her.
Oh my goodness.
You got her, Meg.
So good. So Ducky Momo gave us $10 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much for that. He said there are dozens of differences in the show from the actual Tolkien lore.
Ducky
Constantly
Momo
acting like
bag. Sorry.
Yeah, like the race part is a top concern. Is no better than a grifter. There are other concerns that get ignored. Very good. Very good. There are things and without going too sideways, talking about Lord of the Rings and Tolkien, just say that community has their concerns. They have concerns about character representation. Like, how are they representing this character? Is it true to the character? They've got concerns about storyline, and from what I understand, look, Amazon have the rights to the name, but not the content. And specifically in their contract, they're not allowed to use actual Tolkien content, so they're having to create something Tolkien adjacent under the Tolkien name. And then, of course, those folks are really, they're worried. They're concerned. Hey, there's Quentin with $2. Yeah, Ducky's right. It's a big list. That's true. That's true. And we've got some good folks in the chat. Trinity's made it here. Planet Fitness. Good to see all you guys. So the delay. What do you earnestly think is behind the 3-week delay?
Probably Marvel. They want enough eyeballs on the Marvel stuff.
You think that Andor is too big, and She-Hulk is already getting some pretty negative press?
They probably don't want a repeat of Solo, so they kind of want Andor to be its own thing. I kind of think they might move the Bad Batch season 2 to October as a result.
You know, I was thinking the same thing. I think She-Hulk is in trouble. That's what I think. And if you're going to put Andor, I think this is a Disney thing, not a Lucasfilm thing. I think it's a platform thing. And I think Disney Plus says She-Hulk can't, it needs all the help it can get. And we can't put Andor on its premiere or it's just going to get buried. Absolutely buried. And I think that's fair.
Did that happen to that last series? The one that came out with Kenobi? The Marvel series, Ms. Marvel. Did that suffer from the Kenobi thing? Do we ever look at do we ever get numbers for that show to know? Because that would probably be pretty telling. I didn't pay attention to it. I didn't see it, but I do think I personally think it's the bottlenecking of internet journalism. I just don't think there's so much room. Like that IGN, how many main stories can IGN do? Or will they do? And I just think that I think that's at least part of it.
We have different opinions. She-Hulk doesn't look good to me. Just my eyeballs tell me it doesn't look right. And
it looks like late 90s CGI.
Yeah.
Didn't they fix it up though? I heard that the first stuff we saw was revised. So I haven't paid attention, so I don't really know if it looks any better. But the initial stuff that they did, I heard was preliminary CGI work, and it was revised. So maybe it will look better. I don't know.
Maybe. But to Meg's point, currently that will put Andor releasing on the 21st and Bad Batch on the 28th, the very next week. 3 episodes, so we get 1/4 of Andor right out of the bat. And I heard some speculation as well. And Jason, this is something that you've talked about a bit. Those episodes, we're expecting them in that 40-minute range. Yeah. Minus the intro and outro for them, the actual content of those episodes. For the first 3, do you think it's more than 30 minutes an episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, no, I mean when they go and they write write the episodes that they're written to be 45-minute shows. And then if the content requires them to go under or over, they will. That's just they have a target. And that's what they aim for. That's how they also budget the shows in the early stages. So you will always be correct unless there's a big curveball, something just completely different. Guessing at 45 minutes every time, you would be in the vicinity of more right than wrong over time.
So the 3 episodes in total are probably pushing 2 hours, more than an hour and a half.
Most likely. Yeah. I would say so.
Does anyone else find it a bit odd that they're really trying to push those first few episodes out so that it syncs up with the Bad Batch season 2?
Well, I
think there's an overlap that's very deliberate.
You think? Well, I'm concerned that Bad Batch isn't going to release on the 28th. I think they're going to push it, and that brings us back to the topic. We're pushing a lot of things. So not only is Andor getting pushed back 3 weeks, right? Which I don't think is a big deal. I'm not concerned or worried. I don't think that there's some sort of underlying problem at Lucasfilm because Andor got released is being pushed three weeks. I think that there's more of an issue with KOTOR and Eclipse getting pushed. So from the gaming side, but at the same time, we hear that Jedi Survivor's going to be coming earlier than expected. And then with the movies, Rogue Squadron, that's dead, right? Or nearly dead. It's on life support. It's sitting.
I mean, the last thing that we heard was that what's her name was dropping Cleopatra to be able to work on it. So was that true? Because if that was true, I would say it's not necessarily dead, but it doesn't sound good for it. I don't believe it'll. I think if it ever happens, I don't think it will be the one after Degas movie at this rate.
Wow.
So I don't think it means it won't happen, but I don't know if it is. I'm doubtful on that one because they had a very deliberate specific window and it was missed. And so I think that kind of throws you back into the mix of we don't know what's going to happen. I also don't even know if they know what to do with the Bad Batch right now, with how flexible and weird the schedule has been. And what's the new leaker's name? Like
Ahsoka.
Yeah, Ahsoka's. Like they were talking about how the release schedule for these things works and how like fluid it is. How it's just kind of like it's just kind of open, like not really that set in stone. Sometimes I feel like we look at this stuff like there's like a grand plan, and it seems to be a little bit more like, well, we can do that, and then they just start doing that. And like the trailer.
Don't answer that, Meg. Don't answer.
I had like 5 answers ready. I'll go with the least obscene one. Jason was trying to ride me.
There you go.
I got nothing to say. I'm just.
Yeah, I like to tell myself it's Meg riding a bantha. She's just riding a bantha across the sands of Tatooine. That's my internal, and no matter what she says, that's what I'm going to replace.
Santa, have some respect for Jason's mother.
Thank you. Thank you, Santa, for respecting my mother.
Oh my goodness.
What about
So Beth's been saying it's always fairly fluid, the schedule. Right? Marvel Studios products have shown it.
I think we'll all be fairly fluid when we see Andor.
I think so too.
I just want to see our Hono running again, and like in the first trailer, it was a little bit better. Just want to throw that out there.
I think it also bears noting that Taika's movie is not going to happen in 2023. Anybody believe that? Does anybody believe that that's going to happen in 2023?
I don't think so.
Nah.
Unless you're lying to yourself.
You know what's going to happen? On September the 21st, Diego Luna's going to be like, we apologize, but you can now look forward to the Andor premiere on December the 31st with a 12-episode premiere.
That would be better. I wish they would just drop everything.
That's what I was going to ask about Bad Batch. So one of the complaints that people had through the season 1 of Bad Batch is they should have just dropped the whole thing at once. And maybe they should treat the animated series differently than they do the live action series. And now this is, we're starting to get into a pattern with Star Wars live action of releasing multiple episodes on release date. Now we're up to 3.
That's to buy us off and not get us mad at the delay. I think they wanted to do it too, and then they said they were going to do it too because they want to get you hooked. But then they pushed it back, and that's why we got the 3. That's clearly like, oh, but you get 3, and like you could see all of like the Lucasfilm bootlicker types. Everybody, Andor's delayed. All 3 episodes are, and they're like playing that whole game. So I mean, it's clear. It's like, but if you do the math, you're actually getting less still by that point.
Yeah, some people need to take it out their mouths, wipe their face, and then speak from a place of non-chivalry.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
Well, I think their Obsession. Hey, I was just watching Obsession. This is sort of what got me thinking about this even more this morning. The delay issues more with polishing, adjusting rather than scheduling dodge. I'm not sure. At this point, we just don't. It's all speculation. Why, right? We just have to take our best guesses, and I'm wondering with the Bad Batch, do we push it back to December? I wanted to bring up another point about Andor. If one of the issues with streaming services is obtaining and retaining subscribers, is there an advantage to pushing to September 21st rather than August 31st for are people going to sign up on August 31st to be there for the very first day, or would they wait till September 1st anyway? Right? If you're going to sign up for Disney Plus to watch Andor, right? Andor's releasing August 31st. Do you take a double hit? Do you take the subscription for August and September, or do you just wait for September 1st to get that anyway? So pushing to September doesn't hurt your subscription model, and they're going to subscribe. New subscriptions going to come in September anyway.
I mean, but it's like when you have like the Marvel show, when they do like the Marvel, then the Star Wars thing, that doesn't work on me. I don't really care. I wouldn't subscribe to it for the Marvel shows personally. I really mostly kind of like I'll watch them because I have the service, but I don't care. I wouldn't do it. But like I keep it going. Like when Star Wars shows end, I keep it going just for the convenience of the Star Wars content in demand. You know.
Yeah, that's my perspective as well.
Yeah.
At a certain point, what I'm trying to say is at a certain point, I don't think Andor's bringing in new subscribers. Andor is very much a show that's for the established Star Wars fan base.
Yeah, I think Matt Rissman has a point. I don't know how many new subscribers they're really going to get from it. Right. Unless it like really takes off and word gets around.
Yeah.
I mean, or if they got Kamal Nanjiani maybe to play B2 Emo or whatever his name is.
So I heard Sheev mention that he thinks his Disney Plus subscription, his 1 year subscription, just is ending like right around now, and so he needs to renew it. And what Not Lewisk is saying here is they push dates when they know they have a large spike in subscription expires. So that could be part of it. They're looking at the subscription wave and thinking, okay, we can help support it up by not having people drop out.
But wouldn't that be more beneficial to have a 12-part ongoing show that is in that overlap of time? Because like I've started Andor, I'm 3 episodes in, I gotta see the other 9. I gotta resubscribe, as opposed to being like, oh no, I could start a new show after, because I feel like if your subscription ends and then a new show starting, you're like, well, I'll get there when I get there. But when you're already in, that's the difference. And it's 12. It was 12 episodes long, so the window of that's so big. So, like I said, I think it has to do with internet coverage, internet journalism more than anything. Personally, that's my
okay. Well, good.
That's my
good.
bet.
I think that's a good speculation. And as far as the Bad Batch season is concerned, I feel confident in saying we'll get more than 1 episode when it releases. And I also think that the chances of it sticking to September 28th is at risk. I don't know how much risk, but I feel like I would not be surprised if they push it back to November, for example, right? Like, I'm just doing math in my head, thinking, okay, Andor starts off with 3 episodes, it's still got 9 to go.
Mm-hmm.
That pushes it through October. Maybe we threw Bad Batch into November. You got Tales of the Jedi. There's still just so many questions in my head about would they release Bad Batch in one shot? Just drop all the episodes?
Like when you look at what these shows cost, like just to contextualize it, like Andor is like taking your wife out for a a lobster dinner, and this is like going out for ice cream by comparison. So I don't know if I think with Bad Batch, they're just more like, what are we going to do? And they're like, well, we can do this. Like, and so I think that's what all of it's, I think it's been done. I think the show.
So what you're saying, Jason, is you like a good lick over removing it from the shell.
Yeah.
Salty versus sweet.
Yeah. I like a good cup.
Oh no!
And Willow comes out in November. Thank you, Bespin.
Bespin, don't steal for Jason.
It's potentially the Bad Batch. I would have done it reverse. I would have released the Bad Batch first, and then Andor over Christmas. It's more Christmassy.
When it comes to those when it comes to shows like that, though, I think that they would, when it comes to like Bad Batch, they would be better dropping all at once, because kids only get to watch those shows when their parents say you have time to watch those shows. They can't just sit there and go, let me stay up to midnight at the premiere. But also when adults stay up for that premiere in general, it's like the show is not that kind of show. So it ends up making people go like people are like, oh, it wasn't that good, and the show's fine. The show does exactly what it should be doing. And so I think if they're smart, they will drop it all at once. That most of the animated shows, they should do that.
Well, I was going to say that about Tales of the Jedi. That's those are shorter episodes, and it's a shorter series. So they could do it very much like they did Visions and drop all of it, right? So good point. And Beth's been saying he doesn't think there's any problem with overlapping. Audience is going to be fine either way, right?
Yeah.
I think that's largely true. Robert, I'm with you. I have stopped buying physical media, and I just keep my subscriptions. I'm like, that's fine. So to close the subject and move on, are there any concern that there's some structural problems at Lucasfilm, leadership problems at Lucasfilm, over these delays?
Yes.
No.
Thank you.
I mean, it's just really irrelevant. I mean, like if anything, I think it says the opposite, that they're not necessarily asleep at the wheel. Like, oh well, we said nothing could change now, just keep on going. But it's when plans change, because they are flexible, because they do come up with a better strategy for them, what they consider to be a better strategy, that people then go, oh, something's wrong, trouble in paradise. And it's like,
I don't
actually,
think anything's wrong.
Yeah, it's the opposit of that. If they're able to be flexible, it says that they saw a better window.
Chillmonger, this is hilarious.
It's kind of funny. That's kind of funny.
That is funny. There is funny.
You see, the thing that most people miss about this is the Force is actually non-binary. They just don't tell you.
This joke is hilarious, though, Meg. This is.
I suppose so. I was going to say that I think Lucasfilm think they're doing great. You can take that as you will, but I think in their eyes they're doing fine. So, from that standpoint.
And there's a discussion going on, and I'll just highlight Obsession's point here. He's not the only one talking about it, but there was some chatter coming out a couple weeks ago about how harsh the working conditions are at Marvel Studios.
I have a question. Was that at Marvel, or was that the contracted visual effects employees?
A lot of it was visual effects workers, in whatever capacity that is, and they were just getting burnout and working ridiculous hours without additional pay and that kind of thing, and it was wearing them out. And the question is, okay, since it's still within the studio head of Disney, does the same problem exist over at Lucasfilm with visual effects folks, artists, and the like? And I have no idea. No insight.
For years, what ILM has been doing, from what I understand, is it's a really weird practice. they farm out the visual effects to India, and then we're basically essentially really underpaid laborers do visual effects that are just barely good enough to get by. Then they take that and make it better. It's a weird, really, really weird process. And I saw some, I won't say their names, but some of the visual effects people from ILM who were speaking about like the CGI conversion of the Attack of the Clones, and they were going on. They were like, yeah, we sent it out to India, and the work isn't any good. You could tell they didn't like doing it, but it was how the industry, it's how it's done. And like on, I remember seeing some stuff about Transformers, where they did that with Transformers. And then the idea, I think it works as sort of a safety net at the same time. If they run out of time, then they do have finished visual effects done from India. And if they can make it, then they take that, then they make it better. And then it's like at the quote ILM level. And yeah. And then but what's going on from what I've heard about like Marvel stuff is that they'll just like go like, oh, we just did a rewrite. Isn't that fun? And there's this guy who's like, I didn't see my kids for 3 weekends because I was working on weekends for this shot. Now you threw it away. Like know what you're doing before you ask me to do that. And the father in me is a little bit like, yeah, I get where you're coming from. That's really messed up. The other part of me is like, why did you go into filmmaking and visual effects if you aren't down for crunches for your whole life, because that's what it's always been. I think it sucks, but that's what it's always been. I don't know. Maybe you should. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a dick, but
go back to Light and Magic, and watch what do those guys' lives look like.
Yeah,
when Light and Magic.
It doesn't. I don't really know why anybody would want to work at ILM personally.
Yeah,
and have a life. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you don't want to have a life, then it's a great career. And some people are very much suited for that. Like all they want to do is this one thing. This is all I care about. And I think that those are the people that should be in that industry, because I don't think it's ever going to be fair. And if fair is being able to work 40 hours and have weekends and stuff like that, I just don't think it's ever going to not be a crunch industry. So be real about it. I don't think it sucks though. I do feel bad for them, but you know.
Well, and I do think they deserve to be treated humane. Even the elves here at the North Pole are treated humanely. We have no union here either, just for the record. But anyway, no.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're